Hey Geo Nerds, if you lived in Brisbane in the 1960s and you wanted to go here to the Gold Coast, well, you could go on one of these, a train. You could go right to Tweed Heads, in fact, from Brisbane. But to get there, you'd have to go through not one, but two of these tunnels. Now, one of them still exists, and John from Off Track Explorer is going to help us have a look at that. But there was another one as well. It doesn't exist. So we're going to have a look at where it was, the geology of both the tunnels, what they look like today, and anything else that I find interesting. Anyway, hang on in there. You know what I'm going to say. If you dig the vibe, like and subscribe. So, let's rock. Well, folks, here we are, just left the coast there, heading inland, and we're going to have a look at the Ernest Tunnel here. And there it is, not much to see, is there? It just goes under that road right there. It's a very short little tunnel, 100 metres or so through, and there it is. It's all in the trees. I'll show you a LiDAR later, get a better look at it. And this is the track bed heading north. There's a little bit of it left. You can see it in the LiDAR better than you can see it on the ground, which is weird. But anyway, it goes across this here. It's been chewed well and truly by a lot of modern work, as you can imagine. But a little bit of it is still there. The other tunnel we're going to talk about, I'll show you a fly-in for that a little later on. It's further south. It's down at West Burleigh. They're both through the same type of rock though, so we'll see why, and we'll see why they had to tunnel through it really. It's just the best way. Anyway, let's see what John's got to say. So John, the awesome Off Track Explorer, has just done a video on this tunnel. There'll be a link in the description. Let's have a few words from him before we get into the geology.
Hope you're having an amazing day. My name is John and I'm an Off Track Explorer. And today I want to take you to a very special location that I think you'll enjoy. If you live in southeast Queensland, perhaps you didn't know that there is an amazing old historic train tunnel right at the Gold Coast that anyone can visit. The Ernest Junction Railway Tunnel. And in this video, I'm going to take you here and show you a few other interesting places that make for a great local adventure.
Oh, thanks for that, John. So, whereabouts is this? Well, here's a map of the railways of southeast Queensland. I'd say the 1960s because the Gold Coast line is shown as being closed. That closed in 64. So it's probably a little after that, but the dotted line will do us. So back then you could get a train from South Brisbane to Coolangatta or South Brisbane to Tweed Heads, yes, across the border. Something you can't do today. But anyway, forwards and backwards. So here we come, our little Ernest Junction there. Our first tunnel was located just there at Ernest Junction, and the second tunnel was located down here between West Burleigh and Reedy Creek. Let's have a look at the geology. Well, purple, Narrowleaf Fernvale. All the stuff in the on the left side of your screen is volcanics, except for the green, which is actually the Ipswich coal measures coming through. But these tunnels all take place in the Narrowleaf Fernvale group. So the first one is up here, well and truly in the shales, and then right down the bottom there's another one. Now the Gold Coast shales are a little harder than the ones in Brisbane. So yeah, this is some serious rock. Let's have a closer look at the Ernest Junction Tunnels geology. Well, it's all shale. I thought I'd do a split finger here. There's the old track bed heading away, and that darker grey to the left is actually some serious metamorphic. So this stuff's hard. And there it is, Devonian, same age it is in Brisbane. I thought I'd do a little 3D LiDAR. There's the tunnel in front of us, but the star of this is the track bed. You can barely see this on the ground. but the LiDAR at this resolution, it really does show up. So here it is, the roundabout and all that freeway works, obviously carved the crap out of it. But here it is heading north out. You can see where they filled it because trains don't go up and down hills too well. Here it is heading through, and of course then it hits the freeway and all that other palaver. It's just been chewed to pieces. But at least you can see it in this pretty well. Now, the Erts Junction Tunnel was started in 1887, and they started at both ends and in the middle. And it took them about a year or so, but there was a nasty accident there on the 1st of July in 1887. 3 guys were blasting. They had a hung charge, the thing you do not want as a blaster. In other words, he went shh but didn't go bang. And they went in to recharge it, and it went off while they were in there. Well, 3 of them were seriously injured. 1 of them unfortunately died. So such a small tunnel to claim a life is a bit disappointing. And of course there's all the ghost stories, but we won't worry about that on this channel. So what I've done here, folks, is a modern Google Earth map, and here's the old junction map to show you where it all is in the modern landscape. We'll just fade it back a bit here. Now you can see the modern boundaries respect the railway lines. You can see the Ernest Junction is still there. So there you go. Well, folks, we just cruised in from Point Danger, just pulling up above Tallabudgerigar Creek here, and you can see the modern freeway crossing with the new footbridge next to it. That's the old rail crossing as well. Follow the track down here. There's a massive quarry there. They've smashed through the ridge that this tunnel used to be in. You can see a tiny little bit of it there. And this is about where it was, I think. Reedy Creek was just up to the left a little bit. But yeah, there's not much left. This place has been severely manscaped, as you can see. But would have been nice to have kept it. It really would have. They put this one down in 1900, so it was still getting on a bit when they knocked it down. Anyway, let's have a look at the geology, because as you can see, there's some geology here. There's geology everywhere. So I said before, this place was built in 1900 to extend the line to Coolangatta, which is where this train is heading towards. Here's our tunnel. It wasn't a big one, but it was deep, way deeper than the other tunnel, and it was a big ridge. If they cut all that rock out, it would have taken forever. Here it is, a local map from, I think about the 1920s, and if we zoom down here, you can see West Burleigh there. If we zoom down here, there's our tunnel. There it is, not much around it as a landscape, little creek there. You can still see it. If we go to the landscape now, there's a little creek, and there's our tunnel. That was about 1947, something like that. So let's have a look in the modern landscape. Well, it's about here, I think, pretty close. The ridge is gone, you can't really tell. And zoom back a bit further, about here. It's all in the same shale, even though there's a lot of metamorphics around it, they didn't get any. Well, there you go, folks. The South Coast Railway Lines tunnels from a geology and maybe a geography perspective. If you want to know more detail on that Ernest Junction tunnel, watch John's video. It's very good. The poor bugger gets soaked in it, but he makes an awesome coffee in the end, and it all works out. And it's a great video. Check him out, Off Track Explorer. Link will be in the description. And thank you to Marty from Marty's Train Shed for asking me to make this video. I thought, tunnels on the South Coast Line, but it was way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Thanks very much. I believe Marty's actually got a historical video on this whole line in the pipeline, so keep watching his channel. I'll also put a link in the description for that. So you saw those spooky cat's eyes in the tunnel before. Well, the bloke who invented cat's eyes did it because he saw a set of cat's eyes in the headlights of his car. You imagine if the cat was facing the other way, he'd have probably invented the pencil sharpener. Even after that, if you dig the vibe, like and subscribe, and of course, keep rocking. T-Rox out.